How to move on and get over an ex. That can be a tough one sometimes, huh? I mean, it's human nature to avoid discomfort and to reminisce about the good old days. I remember how good it was back then. And I think a lot of times the reason why we reminisce about the good old days, it's because it's a way to avoid the discomfort of the present moment. It's almost a kind of like a way to numb ourselves out to the present moment. I'm just going to fantasize about how great the past was and tell stories about it. And if only I could reach back to Bobby or Sue or whoever it was, then things would be great again. And we reminisce because right now maybe it's a painful time for you because you've broken up with this person and you're still feeling the feelings, and it's not easy, is it? And sometimes the feeling of heartbreak is all that you've got left to this person. It's like they're gone. We're not in communication. We're not doing anything anymore together. We don't see each other. We're not connected via social media. All I've got left is this feeling of heartbreak. And if I had to get rid of the heartbreak too, then that's the last chord. Then poof, they're gone. They'll just evaporate into thin air. So it's worthwhile to see are you hanging on to the heartbreak, or maybe it's just your body naturally clinging to not letting go of that last energetic chord, if that is actually still the last energetic chords. And while we're on the topic, it's good, not only is it good, it's crucial to be aware, especially if you're in a love relationship with someone. You're courted to them. You're courted through your stomach. You might be courted via finances, power dynamics. You're certainly courted through sex. You can be courted intellectually. There's a whole different set of ways you can be courted to someone. So as you're going through the process of heartbreak, a big part of that is cutting the cords, snip, snip, that you've got between you and this other person. And that takes a lot of work. The biggest part of the work is to, number one, be aware of the energetic cords between your heart and their heart, between your gut and their gut, between your groin and their groin. Whatever those cords are, you need to identify them. It could be about money, could be about sex, it could be about looking good, power in the community. It could be about survival, about surviving well. Maybe that other person sets you up to survive well. Whatever it is, we need to identify what the energetic cords are between us and the other person. Become aware, and then snip, snip. And this is a wash and repeat process. You can't just do it one time. You've just got to, it's similar to practicing meditation every day or working out every day. You're going to have to do it for a while until you start getting strong enough to actually maintain the cords being cut. And heartbreak hurts, but it's supposed to. And like I say in a lot of my videos, you got to feel the feelings. If you're going to do any kind of personal growth, if you're going to have any kind of journey of emotional awakening, if you're going to become more emotionally mature through this process, you have to feel the feelings. That's just the way it is. And a lot of us want to avoid the feelings, right? Numb ourselves out. Let's go drinking or smoking or eating or TVing or whatever it is, whatever your favorite way of numbing out is. That looks pretty compelling when you're in the midst of the pain of the breakup. But that would actually be another tip I would give you, is to the degree that you can be sober. And I've been in breakups where part of being sober for me was not dating, at least for a month or two. I was like, I'm going to go 60 days without dating, because dating was going to be my way of numbing myself out to the pain of the heartbreak, for example. So when you're in the midst of a breakup, it's a major chapter change. It's a major life change. And with any of these major changes of chapter in your life, you're going to be walking through the desert alone. And a lot of us don't want to walk through the desert alone. A lot of us are scared to walk through the desert alone. But if you want to get to the other side of the heartbreak, that's going to be a part of the journey. It might be a big part of the journey. It might be a long part of the journey. I don't know. Probably is. But start walking alone and be willing to stand on your own 2 feet and do the journey yourself. This is a key thing I love to say about breaking up with an ex, is in the end, a breakup is about you breaking up with yourself. And that's a huge one. And sometimes that can take a while to see. And I've gone through breakups like, oh, they're jerks and they're this and that. And she does this and blah, blah, blah. And if only I could change her, basically, right? But at some point, when you're done with the shame and the blame, which is a very low level of consciousness, when you're ready to take yourself to a higher level of awareness, at some point, the opportunity is here for you to see that, oh, I'm breaking up with a small version of myself. Why was I even in that relationship? Why was I playing at this low level with that other person? Why was I using the other person to hide out in my life? And so this is a huge, powerful opportunity for you to delve into the question of, what am I breaking up with within myself? Who am I stepping into now? Who is it that I want to be now? What is this bigger version of myself that's wanting to emerge through me right now? This is your opportunity to stand on your own 2 feet. This is your opportunity to connect with yourself as a shaft of white light all the way down into the ground and all the way up into the sky. And if you can just get yourself into connecting with and feeling that you're a shaft of white light, great. If you want to take it even bigger, you're not an individual shaft of white light. You're connected to all the other white light. This whole thing, this whole game is just one big ball of white light, and we're all a part of it. And that can be, and I recommend that you connect with that in meditation or however else works for you. This is an opportunity to connect with yourself, standing firmly on your own 2 feet and being clear that you are a shaft of white light. And so this is your chance to either build self-esteem or to find out that you're addicted to codependent, you're addicted to drama, you're addicted to willing to lose yourself in a relationship or whatever your little games are, right? So this is your chance to build self-esteem. You've got to learn self-love first. You're not going to ever be able to love anyone any better than you love yourself. If deep down in your heart you hate yourself, you disrespect yourself, or you don't love yourself, or whatever pain and trauma is still within you about you and your story about yourself with yourself, it's the other person that you're in a love relationship with is going to become your mirror and is going to reflect back to you the dark, unhealed wounds that you have within yourself about yourself. So this is an opportunity to grow your self-love, to stand on your own 2 feet and to learn to love yourself the way that you wish someone would love you, the way that you wish that you could love somebody else. And standing alone on your own 2 feet can be hard work, especially if you're not used to it. It's not going to necessarily be comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. We all know heartbreak is one of those painful things, and I would say that heartbreak is a form of grieving. So what this is all about is this is a new chapter. You've turned the page and you've entered a new chapter, and this is about you deciding whether or not you're going to claim your own power. Are you going to take this opportunity to claim your own power? Are you going to step up to this bigger version of yourself? Are you going to find out, get clear with yourself, what is it that you're breaking up with within yourself? What's the part of you that you're discarding that no longer serves you? And who is the higher level you that you're now stepping into? It's time for you to create a new story in your life. Who are you? Let's make a new story and make it an empowering answer to the question of who are you? So these are my how-tos for moving on and getting over an ex. As you can see, there was no easy fix here. It's a process. It's time for you to do the work I think the biggest part of this process is, are you going to do the work, and are you going to keep yourself with your nose to the grindstone? Are you going to keep yourself in present moment, or are you going to numb yourself out, deflect, and try to avoid it? Or are you going to dive in and do the work of growing yourself into this next bigger version of you 2.0, you 18.0, whatever it is? This is a chapter change, and this is you and your opportunity to declare something big about yourself for yourself.